Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Sports Show with No Name. I'm your host. I'm Chad Bryan. With me, as always, is Ben Bales. Ben, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, just relaxing, watching some football, watching the
Watching?
Guardians, maybe making some history.
Yeah, the Guardians are right on the cusp of making some crazy history. Really, I'm actually looking at the standings, the MLB standings, right in front of me right now. American League Central looks a little bit different than it did about 10 days ago.
It looks very different.
What happened? All of a sudden, the Guardians are one game back of Detroit, who has seemingly, I guess, forgotten how to play baseball.
I don't know what happened, but somehow this Guardians team found a way to claw their way back into an AL pennant race, and whatever Stephen Vogt has done with this team, like this year managing the Guardians might be better than last year. Like, yeah, last year he won AL Manager of the Year.
Yeah.
But I almost think he should win it this year after what he's gone through. Like, you lose your Cy Young finalist closer.
Yeah.
You lose another starter that was, obviously, he wasn't great, but Chad, pitching, it's hard to find pitchers that are consistent.
Yeah.
And he's got this team right in the division race, one game back after being 15 and a half down in July.
Yeah. And the bullpen was so bad. Speaking of pitching, finding pitching and making it all work, the bullpen was so bad at one point this season that, it was almost like it was just you looked at it like the Braves. It was the mail-in season. It's like, okay, well, this isn't their year. They're not going to win. Whatever. We'll regroup. Try to catch some of that lightning in a bottle from the bullpen from 2024, maybe next year, and hope for the best, right?
Yeah.
And now they're really about. They could win the division. They could. They have a prime opportunity coming up. When does that series start?
Today.
That's today. Oh my gosh, it's today. I kind of listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I forgot what day it was from it. I really thought it was Monday for a second. Yeah, they played Detroit in a 3-game stretch here, right? It's going to be obviously.
And if we take 2 out of 3 from Detroit, so even if we lose today to Skubal, right? If we take 2 out of 3, we hold the tiebreaker. So technically, we'd be in first place going into the last series of the year for both teams.
That's insane.
And we have Texas and they have Boston.
So we know, okay, I'm not so concerned about Detroit. It's okay. They've forgotten to play baseball, how to play baseball. That's fine. Whatever. We're not going to break them down. But what happened to the Guardians? Like, what changed for this team?
Obviously, Jose Ramirez. He's been great all season long.
Yeah.
But you look at, like you said, I think the biggest thing is the bullpen. Well, bullpen and starting pitching, right? Our starting pitching was – I saw a crazy stat, right? I don't know if you know this or not, Chad, but the Guardians hired Corey Kluber onto the staff as like an assistant, like pitching coach. He's not listed as a pitching coach.
He's a consultant.
Yeah. But before they hired him, their starting pitching ERA was a 4.75.
Okay.
Which was like 28th in baseball.
Yeah. Not great.
And their batting average against was like a 302, which is that's horrible. Like, as a pitcher, batting average against is not a good stat. Like,
you don't want a bunch of guys on base.
No. And then after they hired Kluber, our ERA is down to like a 3.7, and our batting average against is down to like a 260 since he's joined the staff. So, you look at numbers like, it's still not great, but compared to where it was before he joined,
it's getting better.
It's a whole lot better.
Yeah.
And I've seen people say that, he's actually like, he's the one coming up with game plans for these pitchers on how to attack hitters. And as a pitcher, right, if you have a good game plan and you stick to it, like, it can do some wonders. And the Guardians.
And sometimes I think just having a plan and feeling comfortable going in mentally just does something for you as a pitcher.
And I think, and like you said, I think, and Carl Wilson's biggest thing he always preaches to these guys is, like, believe in your stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the more you believe in your stuff, the better. And I think that these pitchers I think all of them are finally starting to believe that, like, look, like, we all have the stuff that can compete in this league.
Yeah.
Like, look at Joey Cantillo's last, like, 4 starts. Like, he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah. Tanner Bybee's been really good.
Yeah.
They just, it's I don't know. It's like the Braves have done the opposite thing. The Braves are also going really well right now. The Braves are also 9-1 over their last 10 games. They've won 9 in a row. They helped you out, right, with the Tigers. They did help out over the weekend. The thing about the Braves is they've started playing well when it was really it was too little, too late. Yeah. Right? They were eliminated over the weekend in the middle of this winning streak or whatever. So it's like, okay, well, Braves fan, thanks for getting going at some point and showing people and us that you had this in you. But I really wish we would have done this at some point from April until August. That's fine. It is what it is. Baseball. It's been a weird season. I just saw Ozzy Albies is hurt. You know.
Yeah, he broke his hamate bone in his arm or in his hand.
That's a tough one.
But going back to your point, you asked what happened with the Guardians.
Yes, I didn't let you answer. Yeah,
they're timely 2-out hitting. I don't know if you've seen, but in this streak with 2 outs, they're hitting like 300. They're hitting like 310 as a team, with like, and they're hitting like 310 as a team with runners in scoring position.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. I mean, as a pitcher, like when you're facing this team and you get guys on base with 2 outs in scoring position, like, oh no, not again.
Right.
Right. And I don't know if you've seen too, Bo Naylor with 2 outs in this stretch is hitting like 310 as well.
Yeah.
Like you got, and I don't think it's as much as like these guys just getting on base, right? It's these bottom of the order guys getting on base in clutch situations for the top of the order with, for guys like Kwan and Hosey and all that. And it's just coming through with 2 outs in clutch situations, like giving up a 2-out run. I mean, I played catcher, you played pitcher. Giving up a 2-out run when you're in control of a game, it's the most hard. It's one of the worst feelings ever because like, dude, we're that close, and then you give up like 2 or 3 runs, and you're like, dang it, we were that close to get out of the inning.
It can be debilitating. Like it can feel, it can feel really rough. And the Guardians have been really good at that. Like you said, the bullpen's been good. Starting pitching has been good. Do you think it's because of Corey Kluber? I mean, like you said, I was going to ask you, is it the physical game plans that he's putting together? Is it just confidence for these guys? They just like having him around. I mean, a little bit of everything. I mean, what do you think it is?
I think, like you said, I think it's kind of one of those things where it's like, even if they're not like 100% sure about the game plan, like you said, just having that blueprint of what he wants them to do going to the game, makes them a little bit more confident.
Yeah,
and then being able to have somebody that's been at the pinnacle of pitching and Corey Kluber and winning a Cy Young, being able to talk to and take some of the load off Carl Willis. Like I think that helps these guys because he can relate to them a little bit more because he's a little bit younger.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things when it's like, some Carl Willis.
He's been here against some of these hitters, right?
Yeah. Like some, and it's one of those things too, where it's like, something Carl Willis says might not sit with these guys, and Corey Kluber walks up and says something different and something clicks.
Yeah.
And like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Sports are weird. Sometimes, like you said, that's a weird thing how sometimes even the same message from a different person can just hit a little bit differently. And I don't know, kind of gets in and rattles around your brain and does something different.
So I don't know if you saw.
I would love to look at the psychology of that.
Me too.
Study of that.
So I don't know if you saw the clip or not, but it was Austin Hedges was on the Chris Rose show.
Okay.
And speaking of the whole psychology of it, he said that Kyle Raleigh was the AL MVP. I don't know if he's using that as motivation to try and get Hosey motivated over these last 6 games to try and, maybe spark some life into Hosey. Not that he needs it, but a mad Hosey could go a long way going into the postseason.
Hey, and there's something about this whole organization. No matter who's been here, I mean, in the last couple of years with Stephen Vogt and this roster, it's like when you issue these guys a challenge. I know you're gonna say they haven't won a World Series. I know that. But it's like when you issue these guys a challenge, man, they meet it. Like they're up for it. They've come back in the division like this before. They've done. I mean, no one's come back in a division like this before. If they come back from 15 and a half games, that's ridiculous. But I mean, they've done these type of things before. They've saved the season in the last month or whatever. It's remarkable what they've done. The baseball is. I really hope they can finish this thing off in this series and kind of put themselves out ahead of the Tigers. It'd be nice to see a sweep here.
I made a joke with my dad, and I said if we win it all, I said we should. I said the Braves should get like some sort of like compensation or something for sweeping the Tigers. And
maybe not a ring, but maybe the Braves can get like a necklace. Like we help.
Right. It says participation.
Right. Employee of the month. Something. Yeah.
But no, I saw a post from Tom Hamilton. He was talking about small market teams being able to compete. Right. In the last 13 years, the Guardians have only played 25 games where they were mathematically eliminated from playoffs. In 13 years.
Listen, there's a lot to be said, and there's a lot said about the Dolans and the financial, just what they're willing to put into this team and the. I mean, let's be honest. the Guardians aren't really well invested in, right? Like they're just not. I mean, they have some good players. Obviously, Jose Ramirez took the hometown discount to stay here. They've got some good pitching, but they don't go out. They never get, and not even the second tier free agent, right?
Yeah.
They get like the reclamation projects and the scrap heap guys, and they try to, and the Braves have done similar things over the last couple of years, which confuses me because they have a little more money to work with. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be said about what doesn't happen for this franchise, but there's also a lot to be said about what they actually put out on the field. It's a remarkable product for just like I said, the financial, I don't know. I can't, I'm struggling to find words to talk about how amazing this comeback has been, but the Guardians just keep doing this. They just keep competing.
Like I told my dad, I said, it'll be interesting to see how the Guardians do when Jose's gone. Right.
Yeah.
Because you look at this Guardians team now, right? Like this team goes, it's like Austin Hedges says, this team goes as Jose goes.
Yeah.
Right. Like you look at,
he's the heart and soul for sure. Yeah.
And I was so mad the other day against when was it? We were playing the Twins, and Gabriel Arias hit like a weak grounder to like the shortstop.
We lost everything for a moment there. I'm not really sure what happened, but go ahead. You said you were mad the other day?
Yeah, because Gabriel Arias hit like a weak, like soft dribbler to the shortstop, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna beat this out, and he comes out of the batter's box jogging, and I'm like, you're in the middle of an AL Central pennant race. Like, why are you jogging? Like, I literally looked at my dad. And I was like, I would have benched him. Like, I straight up would have benched him there.
Yeah.
And he gets back to the dugout, and Jose says something to him, and the next day he comes out, and he's like hustling out of the batter's box, and is like, yeah, something was definitely said to him.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like.
And listen, I understand if you've got like a hamstring or a calf or something bugging you, and you don't like. Okay, I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? Like this is a routine ground. I'm not gonna bust it out of the box now because we might need me in a couple of weeks in the play. Yeah. I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, yeah, obviously it seems like that might, just Ramirez said something to him that changed. Yeah, just an oversight. That's a tough look.
But like I've always told my dad, I said, like, you look at Jose, right? Like you said, you mentioned it. He took the hometown discount to stay in Cleveland, right? Yeah. Could have easily signed a $300+ million contract with Detroit or with with the Dodgers, with New York, with any one of these teams. But he said,
pretty much at his choice, yeah.
Yeah, he said, you know what? I want to win a World Series here in Cleveland. Took the hometown discount, and it's one of those things when it's like if he's finally able to reach that pinnacle with Cleveland and win the World Series, like that feeling for him is going to be so gratifying. Yeah, because then he said in an interview a couple weeks ago with Andre, if you saw that, he says he wants to play 8 more years, wants to play till he's 40.
Okay.
So if he's able to win,
I'm not going to tell him he can't do it,
right? And if he's able to win one of those 8 years, right, then that contract's not going to be a waste because you signed it for 7 years. Yep. But if he doesn't win one of those in those 40 years, it could be like, or in those 8 years, it could be like Nelson Cruz, where the last couple of years of his career, he just goes and he's a DH somewhere.
Yeah, if he plays for 40 more years, Ben, I'll be really, really impressed. That'll be
but I mean, he'll be 40 at the time he wants to retire and leave and step away from baseball. So if he's able to win a World Series in the next 7-8 years with the Guardians,
yeah.
And like I told my dad, I said, even if he's just hitting, right, like even if he's DH only, not playing the field, right, like why wouldn't you want him on your team still?
No, he's a clubhouse guy. I mean, he's absolutely the heart and soul of this whole franchise. I mean, he's the guy. And when you said it'll be interesting to see how they do when he's gone, it made me feel down. I was like, oh man, like it kind of, I got that feeling, like he can't ever go away, right? Like he's got to be here forever.
I mean, this might be a dumb question, but he definitely gets a statue in Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
think it depends on if they win or not. Like if they win a World Series, well, I don't know though. He's just so.
I think
he's just so centralized to the franchise. I think so.
I think with him signing, like my dad said, I think with him signing that hometown discount and wanting to be here, I think they'll build him a statue. Yeah. And I said I think they should change it up. You know how I don't know last time we had a game, but they have those statues in right center behind those bushes.
Yeah.
I said for Jose, I said they should change it up. Right? They should put it down the left field line because he played third base. So you should put it down the left field line, right at like that fence as you're walking in left field gate.
Okay. Maybe just have him on the railing looking over watching the game. Have his statue up there.
That'd be cool.
Just always looking over. Is he the best player in franchise history?
He'll go down as it.
I mean,
right now, I still think guys like Larry Doby and those are better. But I think at the end of when it's all said and done and Jose's ready to hang it up, I think he'll be. Right now, he's definitely top 3.
Yeah.
But at the end of his career, he'll be number one. He'll be the greatest Cleveland Guardians player ever.
He's been remarkable. I feel, again, it's like we're very lucky to have been able to watch this run, from him. I think that's
and it just sucks that he plays in the same league as Aaron Judge, because he's had so many seasons that are MVP caliber seasons. Yeah. But then you look at the seasons that Judge is having, he's hitting 340 with 60 bombs, and you're like, really? Like seriously?
Yeah. Yep. I know.
But it just, but like Tom Hamilton said, though, like these small market teams need that one guy, though, that can carry the load of a team. And you look at Jose, right? And people forget that Jose's he's not healthy. Like, he's playing hurt.
He's always banged up. Yeah. I mean, he's always in the thick of it. Yeah. Yeah. But
you look at what he's able to do while playing. Like, after MLB season, towards the end of the year, you're never really truly healthy. Like you're never truly 100% in any sport.
No.
But the fact that he's able to, still go out there, steal bases, sprint down the line on a routine ground ball and beat it out, and get all these, hustle plays. You look at it, and the whole team does it, and you're like, they're all thinking, well, if he can do it, we can do it.
Right?
He's 33 years old. If he can do it, we can do it.
Exactly.
And that just goes a long way.
I agree with you. Guardians Tigers tonight. What's the pitching matchup in that one?
Skubal versus Bibee.
There we go. And I think that's kind of the main event, right? Game one. I guess how it should be. I will not be able to watch tonight, but I'm disappointed by that. But baseball's gotten weird to try to watch. It's hard to watch baseball anymore.
I don't know if you saw it, but the automatic balls and strikes is coming to the MLB in 2026.
Yes, I did see that.
Well, okay, what's your opinion on that?
I don't know. I mean, I guess you want to get it right? But then we're trying to speed up the game, so we have a pitch clock, and we have all these like things in place to speed up the game. The extra, the ghost runner and extra innings or whatever. And now we're gonna let guys tap their head every time they disagree with a call, and so I don't know. I'm not really sure.
I haven't read into it. I don't know if it's one of those things where it's like if you use one in that bat and you're wrong, I don't know if you lose it.
You do, yeah. You get 2 per game, and you keep it if you're right. You keep them all if you're right.
I think it's one of those things.
You keep using them as long as you're right. You can keep using them.
Like, I think it's one of those things, right, where like you might only see like certain players do it. Yeah. Like Stephen Kwan and Jose Ramirez would be my 2 guys for the Guardians, right?
Yeah, right. Like guys who've shown some kind of command of the of the hitting zone, right? Like, you understand the strike zone. You're allowed to use it. No.
Like for the Braves, Ronald. Like for the Braves,
touch your head.
Like for the Braves, Ronald Acuna, right? Like, I think it should be like the team's like star player. Like if I was managing, I'd be like, I'd give it to 2 guys, right? Like, hey, you each get 1. If you win it, cool. If not, it's okay.
Yeah, and you've seen guys complain on pitches that are clearly strikes, right? Like they get a strike called and they complain to the umpire. Could you imagine using one of your replays on a ball that's like clearly in the zone? I mean, that's kind of upsetting. I don't know.
See, because it says the beginning of 2026, so it'll be interesting to see if it sticks around or if they get rid of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they've already planned on implementing it. I just think if you're going to do this, just go to the robo umpires.
I agree.
I mean, if you want to really get it right, right? Like, just don't spend the time reviewing these things. Whatever. I don't know if I agree with the robo umpires either. I kind of like the human element.
I was just say I like the human error because it adds a little bit more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say strategy, but it makes it a little bit more fun to watch.
Yeah.
Even though, yes, it's frustrating when an umpire misses a call, right? But
sure is.
If it's a close call, like you can't blame them, right? But now if it's like an Angel Hernandez call where the pitch is right down the middle of the plate and he calls it a ball,
yeah,
and you're like, okay, like that one's pretty bad. But like if it's like some of these ones today when, like I forget who it was. It might have been the Guardians announcer. They talked about it, the ball. It was a ball, but it caught a piece of the plate, and the umpire called it a strike. And he was like, that's probably why the umpire called it a strike, because it caught it was like a slider and it came across the plate.
Yeah,
but it ended as a ball. And he's like, that's probably why the umpire called it a strike. And I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But when robotic umpires come, that's going to be a ball.
And that's a tough, like that's a caveat. Like, how long does the ball really need to spend in the strike zone? If it just gets a corner of the strike zone, is it a strike? I mean, that's the strike zone. The ball's in the strike zone, right?
Yeah.
Does it have to be in the strike zone all the way across the plate? Can it be in the strike zone across the front of the plate? I think that's why some of those fastball slider guys are so good. They throw pitches that look like strikes. Maybe they're not. It's really hard to hit. But anyway, yeah, Guardians Tigers tonight, 3-game series. That's gonna decide the season. One way or the other, I think. Well, like you said, they could come out tied, but then the Guardians do hold that tiebreaker. So I hope they just sweep the Tigers. I guess
I
that's
do
just
too.
what I want to start rooting for.
I do too, but if it comes down to the tiebreaker, that series in Detroit was the biggest series of the year because sweeping that gives you the tiebreaker over the. If you're able to win 2 out of 3, right? That gives you the sweeping that series in Detroit gives you the tiebreaker over Detroit.
Yeah.
So even if say we lose today against Scooball, but win, Wednesday, Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
That sweep in Detroit, obviously with help from the Braves, gives us that tiebreaker, which would be huge because then you don't have to like go all out in the Rangers series. Obviously, you want to win to build a lead in the division, but you think about it, Detroit's got to play Boston next, which is not Boston's hot right now. They're playing.
Boston's gotten much better since the beginning of the season. Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, there we go. Let's just hope for the best. I'm going to move on because it's fall, right? The name of this episode is I forget already. Pumpkin Spice Everything Time, I think is what we called it. I have literally seen pumpkin spice, all kinds of things on shelves, on signs. It's time for the pumpkin spice eye exams at your eye doctor, whatever. It gets out of hand. But I want to talk about some football. And is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was like, he just refuses to talk about football. What do I do? Don't refuse. That's it's first of all, week 3 in the NFL just wrapped up. There have been some surprising games. Browns, Packers. There have been some surprising teams. The Colts are 3-0.
That might be my new favorite nickname.
What?
Daniel Jones instead of Danny Dimes. Now it's Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Indiana Jones. That's fantastic.
That might be my new favorite nickname.
He was always destined to end up there and play well, right? Speaking of surprising teams, the Chiefs almost started 0-3. That was close.
Dude, I told my dad this the other day. I said, you look at these quarterbacks, right, that are known for being able to, win with whoever they have at receiver, right?
Yeah.
Mahomes was able to, but he had Travis Kelce, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that Travis Kelce's not playing well, Mahomes is starting to look human.
Well, yeah, and I think it shows you not to highlight that Travis Kelce is now bad. It shows you how good he was, how dominant he really was. And I have serious concerns about that Chiefs offense. I've talked about it on a couple other shows that I've done. If I were a Chiefs fan, I would really be worried about that offense.
And I don't know if you saw Harrison Butker. I saw a thing before the show started. He's missed 3 field goals this year already.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
Like you look at some of the going back to my point, about
and the Chargers look really, really good in that division. By the way, they're going to have a hard time keeping up with the Chargers at 3-0 right now.
Chargers look incredible, dude.
Yeah.
Say
what you want about Jim Harbaugh. He's weird. He
builds
cheats.
Winners, dude. He builds winners.
He knows how to build an NFL football team. He really does.
But going back to guys that can win with whoever's put out there, you look at Tom Brady, right? He's only really ever had a true wide receiver. Name the last time he had 3 good wide receivers on his team.
He usually has a really good slot guy, and then some guys that you've only heard of because Tom Brady throws the ball to them.
Exactly.
That's it. He had Randy Moss for a while. That was fun for a minute. But even Moss was probably I think he would tell you probably past his physical prime at that point.
Yeah. But you look at
guys really good. Still really, really, really good. But
you look at Drew Brees in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I couldn't name you a receiver besides Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying this because I'm a homer, but right, you look at Pittsburgh with Big Ben, right?
Yeah.
Obviously they had Antonio Brown, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, but who else?
I think Antonio Holmes had a nice run when he was there with Big Ben.
He did, but who else did they have besides Antonio Brown? Like the Steelers never. Really,
they had a couple of guys.
They had a couple of guys, but never you look
never like Joe Montana was thrown to Jerry Rice.
Perfect example. Yeah. Look at the Buccaneers, right? You got Chris Godwin, Emeka Egbuka, and Mike Evans, right? That could be 3 legitimate Pro Bowl wide receivers.
Yeah, right? No, you're right. You're right there.
How many teams have 3 legitimate Pro Bowl wide receivers? Most teams have that one guy that, you're okay, we're game planning for this guy, right? If you're playing the Buccaneers, you're like, okay, we got a game plan for all 3 guys.
Yeah.
you look at these quarterbacks that have all these, right? Like most of these guys have one elite receiver, and if they're beating you, you want them to beat you with these no-name guys that you only know of, like you said, because they're throwing the ball to them. Like,
yeah. Did you see, by the way, that Baker Mayfield just passed? He would be the Browns' all-time leading passer if he were still here.
Dude,
But
let me ask you this.
Okay.
Does Baker Mayfield have the same trajectory if he's still on the Browns?
Honestly, looking at it, it's fun to play the game. Like if he were still here, he would be, but probably not. Yeah, probably not. I mean, he was really good when he was here, but man, he went through a lot here. I think he grew up a lot here, and then he had to leave to really
mature.
It's kind of like LeBron. Like LeBron left and sort of found himself right in Miami.
Now does Baker come back down the line?
No, I don't think he ever wants to play here again. Would you blame him?
No,
I wouldn't want to play here again.
I think the way that they kind of sent him out of town was kind of.
I mean, people say that the Ravens unceremoniously moved on from Joe Flacco for Lamar Jackson. The Browns, they literally kicked Baker Mayfield out of town.
Yeah, they're like, hey,
and said, hey, we have a better plan. It's a guy who hasn't played in a couple years, and he's probably going to stink. And also, by the way, he's a terrible human being.
Yeah.
Get off our roster. Thanks for helping us go to the playoffs and win a playoff game for the first time in 857 calendar years. But yeah, we don't want you here anymore. I don't think he's ever coming back. I don't know. It almost like I made the joke the other day. If Tampa Bay came back to play in Cleveland, he almost doesn't make the trip. He doesn't want to be here so badly. So I don't know. Whatever.
No, but dude, I was talking to my dad. I said like ever since Baker left the Browns, right?
Yeah.
Like I've been a huge Baker fan.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think it's because I don't know if it's because he's finally matured.
Yeah.
But
he's still got all the one-liners in the press conferences. Like he's still having fun. He's still Baker. But there's just not that chip on his shoulder where he takes it a little bit too far. Sometimes he took it too far when he was here, I think.
Did you see the one about Emeka Buka making that one-handed catch? He's disrespected my passes.
That was fantastic. That was funny. And as always, people took it too seriously and they thought he was serious when he said it. What are your surprises? I mean, I'm looking at the standings. Like I said, the Chargers are 3-0. They seem to be the absolute class of that AFC West. I don't even think the Chiefs can come back and compete.
I made a joke.
The Chargers are going to win that division going away.
I made a joke with my dad, and I said, "Watch." I said, "Watch. The Chiefs will go 15-2 and somehow win that division still."
Maybe. I mean, it depends. They got to play better.
I will say this though. I'm not saying this because I'm a Steelers fan too, but I wasn't sure how to feel when Rodgers came in.
Yeah.
But obviously there's been some good and there's been some bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And some weird. I'm assuming.
Aaron Rodgers is tied for the league lead in touchdowns, and this is the most efficient the Steelers have been in the red zone since Big Ben.
Okay.
So. And you know how important it is to score in the red zone. If we're scoring in the red zone, we're hard to beat with that defense.
Yeah.
Rodgers only. I mean, we beat the Patriots 21-7, but they had 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
And we scored 14 points off those turnovers. If we're just able to capitalize on turnovers and not give up points when we turn the ball over, I mean, that's like a recipe. That's like a recipe for success.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Rodgers isn't lighting up the stat sheet right now. He's near the bottom when you look at starting quarterbacks. I mean, he's done for 586 yards or whatever. He's down there with guys like C.J. Stroud and Tua and Mac Jones and Kyler Murray. What happened to Kyler Murray? Wow, is he? Anyway, I don't want to go there, but yeah, Rodgers 7 touchdowns though. And
I just think I think it's one of those things when it's like just his veteran leadership and experience is going to help lead this team. Yeah. And I think it's going to be like the Jets, right? Like as the season goes on and as he gets to know this offense, he's going to get better.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be able to implement his 2 cents and be like, hey, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. And I think him holding these receivers, I don't know if you've seen, but he's been going off on receivers and tight ends and holding them accountable. And I think it's good because Pittsburgh hasn't had that.
Yeah.
If you saw last year, like when Russell Wilson would make a bad throw, he'd go, oh, that's my fault. But, which obviously as a quarterback, most of the time you're going to take the blame.
But
by the way, he's out as the starter now.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
I
Jackson
saw that,
Dart,
yeah,
he's starting week 4. So,
but like you look at Rodgers, and there's a play in the Seattle game when he threw a pick in the end zone. Right, Calvin Austin was supposed to cut to the front of the pylon and then come back towards the ball, and instead he cut towards the back of the end zone. And this ball was a perfect ball from Rodgers to a diving Pat Freiermuth, and he literally straight up said in the press conference, he goes, Calvin Austin has to sit there. He goes, he's got to come back towards the pylon. Straight up called him out in the press conference. I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, when's the last? I was like, I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Like if he's gonna, and that's the thing, like, right, like, and it was just a true thing of like, but he ended the press conference by saying, I love the guy and I think he's going to be great, right? It's exactly like a coach, right? Like, yeah, you're going to criticize somebody, but then you pick him back up, right?
Yeah, tough love, right? Like knock him down, then pick him back up and build him. Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's the same thing with Pat Freiermuth too. He's like, he was yelling at Pat Freiermuth, but then you saw a clip of him later online with his arm around Freiermuth, and they were sitting there laughing. Yeah. But he was pissed at Freiermuth because it led to a bad throw.
Yeah. But sometimes I think we get so sensitive about guys saying things publicly or in the media or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe sometimes it needs to be said.
I mean, and with playing sports, that you need that to make a team successful.
Yeah.
Right? Like if guys are just messing up and making mistakes, nothing's going to change because they're going to think, okay, well, I did it last time. It was okay. Right?
Yeah.
But now Freiermuth knows that next time, okay, if I'm in this situation, Rodgers wants me to do this, I'm more likely going to get the ball.
Right.
Right. And, you asked who my surprise team was. I don't really, besides the Chargers, I mean, I don't really have one. I mean, Buccaneers are 3-0.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Niners are sitting at 3-0 after kind of having a rough year last year, but
yeah,
they went from having the hardest schedule in the NFL to having the easiest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah.
In 1 year. So that's not huge. That's not a huge surprise.
My surprise would probably be the Colts at 3-0. I mean, who would have expected Daniel Jones to go in there and look like a Pro Bowl quarterback? I mean,
yeah.
The dude is, I mean, he's playing incredible football in Indianapolis.
Well, listen, it's not Anthony Richardson taking plays off because he's tired. I mean, Daniel Jones is doing some things there. Indiana Jones, I could say.
And I think, and like I told my dad yesterday, right? Like I watched Monday Night with Penny and Eli, and they had Daniel Jones on, and I told my dad, I said, man, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen Daniel Jones like look like this refreshed and this well, like rested. And my dad's like, that's the New York media for you. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you're not wrong.
That's a good point. That's a great point. Listen, speaking of quarterbacks, I have a weird Lamar Jackson stat. Maybe Lamar wins the AFC MVP this year again. He's off to a really good start. His quarterback rating is through the roof at 141.8. He's thrown 9 touchdowns, hasn't thrown a pick yet, but he's been sacked 12 times for 98 yards. Can you imagine, like, Lamar Jackson with all that escapability, all that athleticism? What is going on in Baltimore? Like, how, on one hand, does he have time to sit in the pocket and pick you apart for a quarterback rating of 141.8 and 9 touchdowns? And then he's getting sacked 12 times for 98 yards. Like, how does that happen?
I think it's one of those things where he's finally trying to prove to people that whole motto of, I'm not just a runner.
Yeah.
But I think that's what made Lamar Jackson so great.
Yeah. He's better. He's better outside the pocket when he can get outside and create. Sometimes that's running. Sometimes it's just getting outside and throwing on the run, whatever. Just, when things break down, and maybe that's a receiver thing too. He's got receivers that can kind of play along and when the chaos hits, they can get to the right spot and do the right thing. That helps too, obviously. No one's really like, I'm looking at rushing stats here, by the way. We're just talking about, week 3 through week 3 of the NFL, partial week 4, obviously, but, or not yet, but we're into week 4. But no one's really like running away as far as like running the football for me. Like there's no like one guy that's like, wow, that guy's like, I mean, Derrick Henry's been he's looked human in Baltimore.
Yeah.
The Browns held him to 2.6 yards per carry, which is crazy.
And last night he didn't have a great game either.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's got 3 fumbles already this season.
He does?
I mean, that's wild to me.
I didn't know he had 3 fumbles.
Yeah, he's got 3 fumbles. So I don't know what's going on there. He's leading. He's up near the top in rushing yards in the NFL. But again, 3 fumbles is huge. There's really no one. I mean, we're calling people like Ashton Genty a bust, and we're saying things about Travion Henderson or whatever. But there's really no running back in the NFL playing great right now.
I'm not going to call Ashton Genty a bust, but I don't know if you've seen his stats. He's like bottom of the NFL and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's pretty bad.
Someone
compared him to Trent Richardson the other day.
He does not look like college Ashton Jeanty.
No, he does not. He's also not playing against those Boise State opponents. So
he is not, and I don't know.
Maybe there was something there.
I was just gonna say that because Boise State, what was he known for? Breaking tackles, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's last in the NFL in broken tackles.
Yeah, not going to get a whole lot of arm tackles and shrug those off in the NFL. You're going to get guys that know how to wrap up, and they're going to bring you down. Receiving wise, Puka Nacua is doing Puka Nacua things. He's got 29 catches. He leads the NFL. Any surprise at all that Ibuka has come out with for Emeka Ibuka has come out? He doesn't like lead the league in anything, but his catches have been pretty high leverage. Like he's made some pretty good catches that have changed drives and kind of like changed games for the Buccaneers.
No, because it's Emeka Ibuka and he was one of the best in college.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I guess he is I shouldn't say he's not near the top. He's second in the league in touchdown catches. He's got 3 touchdown catches already.
It's one of those things too, right? Where the Bucs are literally trying to find Mike Evans' replacement.
Yeah.
And I think they found it in Emeka Ibuka.
Yeah.
And
he's always been a number 2 everywhere he's been, and he just feels like a number 1. He feels like a wide receiver 1.
But I think it's one of those things where he's just such a class act guy and just doesn't really care. He just wants he's like Jose. He just wants to play football. And
it really doesn't matter. Wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, you're on the field.
Yeah.
X, Y, whatever you want to call it. You're on the field, you're running routes, you're making a difference. I mean, it really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter a lot other than, in ego stats, I guess.
And I think if you have 2 really, really good receivers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, if you like, let me rephrase that. If you have 2 like Pro Bowl, like potential Hall of Fame type receivers, it doesn't really matter who's listed as wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, right?
No.
Like for years, right? Like obviously everybody knew Mike Evans was wide receiver 1 and Chris Godwin was wide receiver 2, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think it matters where you list them on a depth chart because they know they're both going to get their targets.
Yeah, and I think you'll see both guys lined up at the X, the Y, whatever, depending on. I don't think that matters at all.
And like, look at Devontae Smith and AJ Brown in Philadelphia, right? Like, they don't care whether the list is wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2. They both know they're going to get their targets. They both know they're going to get their chances. And
speaking of Philadelphia, real quick, Ben, I got to ask you your opinion on the tush push.
Ban it.
Ban it. Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because they can't officiate it, right? Like, Jalen Hurts can fumble the football and they can't tell whether or not he fumbled it.
Okay.
And they're false starting every play.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not being called, which is dangerous because then the guy's getting taken out before the play's even started.
Yeah.
And if you can't officiate a play, then how's it fair?
Yeah, I don't really care either way about the tush push. It feels kind of like a rugby play to me. I mean, it sort of feels like a rugby scrum, which it is, I guess.
But if you're going to allow it, you got to find a way to officiate it.
Okay. Well, maybe they'll do that. Maybe they'll try to regulate it. I know they're trying.
They told the referees, hey, make sure you watch the false starts. And then the Eagles proceeded to false start on 4 straight tush pushes and not a single one was called.
Yeah.
Then another team tries to tush push and a guy false starts and it gets called. So it's like,
hey,
like,
and by the way, Ben, I'm looking at the top of the league in sacks, and there's someone conspicuously missing. I don't see your guy TJ Watt. Where's he at? He's got a couple. I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. Rashawn Gary actually leads the league right now with 4.5. Miles Garrett has 4.
He's playing good.
Yeah.
I'll say the same thing though. Who has more career sacks?
Oh well, yeah, it's there. There are the numbers there. I just
have to give you a hard time. Though, I'm surprised Aiden Hutchinson's not there because I'm looking at the same list too. But you got that Al-Quadin Muhammad guy from Detroit.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that dude, but he's got 3.5 sacks on the year.
You've heard of him now. You know
I have now.
Man, Nick Bosa out for the season, torn ACL. Did you see that?
Does he retire?
I don't know. He and Joey have had such weird lower extremity injuries. That's
what I'm saying. Like, does he retire and call it quits?
I don't know.
And I want to ask you this. I forgot to send it to you, but my dad sent me this stat about Burrow.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it really quick.
Nick Bosa he's only 27 years old. I don't know. I mean,
he has been sacked more times than what's his face? more times than Andrew Luck in the same number of games.
Okay.
And Andrew Luck retired early.
Okay.
So does Burrow retire early?
I don't know. I mean, he gets hit a lot, doesn't he?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
the Bengals are going to have to find a way to keep him healthy. I mean,
so I found it.
Browning isn't going to cut it.
So I found it. Andrew Luck was in 86 games played. Andrew Luck was sacked 174 times.
Wow.
Joe Burrow in 71 games, 201 sacks.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he gets hit a lot, doesn't he?
And that's not it. So,
but wait, there's more.
So Joe Burrow has played less seasons than Andrew Luck.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, they've played the same number of seasons. Burrow's been contacted 634 times for a percentage of 20%.
So 1 out of every 5 times he drops back, he's getting hit.
Yeah. And obviously, he's been sacked 201 times in his career, and he has a pressure percentage of 27%.
Oh, man.
He's literally Andrew Luck.
You would think at some point the Bengals would look at these numbers. I'm sure they have access. If you can find them,
that's what my dad.
I would think the Cincinnati Bengals front office can find them, right?
That's what my dad said. My dad's like, how do you? But like I told my dad, I said, as soon as Andrew Luck retired, the Colts got a really good offensive line, but the Bengals can't afford it because you're paying 4 guys 75% of your cap.
Yeah, they can't afford defensive linemen. They can't afford anything but a quarterback and receivers, and that's it. I mean, listen, if it was like arena football or 7-on-7, the Bengals would be a really, really good football team, right?
Yeah,
but they're not. Anyway, since we're talking about quarterbacks, I want to get onto something, okay? Because when you talk about the NFL, especially if you're a Browns fan, you always talk about the quarterbacks that are available in the draft. It is like it's a rite of passage here. It's what we do as Browns fans. I know you're a Steelers fan, but I think even the Steelers are in a situation where they're probably going to have to look, at some point, look to the long-term, just whatever whatever the situation is for that position. You can't go Aaron Rodgers for 5 years, right? That's not going to happen.
No, and
so I don't know what kind of draft pick the Steelers are going to be looking at the end of the season, but
I was just going to say, do you want me to start or do you want to start?
Start what?
I was going to say, do you want to talk about the Browns first or do you want to talk about Steelers first?
I don't want to talk about either one of those teams. What I want to do is I want to talk about quarterbacks in the draft, okay?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Doesn't matter. Just give me a second. I'm going to give you a list of quarterbacks, okay?
Okay.
And I guess you can look at this from the Steelers' perspective if you want.
Yeah.
Because all these guys aren't going to be top 5 picks. There's no way. No. Well, first of all, there's like 10 guys on the list.
I don't think Arch is a top 10 pick either way now.
Well, I don't think he comes out.
After
let's just say when he comes out. We'll just say 2026, 2027, whatever the year is, whatever draft it is. We can. I'll throw Arch Manning in there because you've got Arch Manning at Texas at 6'4", 219 pounds, right? Good size. I don't know what's going on. Some people think his shoulder might be injured. He's got a weird throwing motion that's kind of wonky. I feel like you can clean that up. His footwork has been kind of bad.
Yeah.
Again, you can clean those things up. He's got the name, right? The Manning name. They've been pretty good. I don't know. There's Arch Manning. Okay, you've got Lenore Sellers, South Carolina. He's been up and down, right? He's shown some flashes, but he's also had some questionable, just whole games, really, where he kind of not goes away, but where he just doesn't seem to see the field very well. 6'3", 240, another big guy. Listen, if you like running quarterbacks, he's a guy that, may not be able to shake off as many tackles in the NFL as he has in college. But, if you don't wrap Sellers up, he's going to get away from you, especially in the pocket. He moves pretty well in the pocket as well. Garrett Nussmeier at LSU is a guy that intrigued me after that week 1 win at Clemson. But now we know Clemson is absolute garbage.
Clemson is
Clemson's pretty bad.
Yeah, Clemson's awful. They're 1-3. Worst start, since Dabo's been there. And he says, if they get rid of him, they don't like winning. Well, when does the winning start? Is the winning in the room with us? Like,
right.
1-3. Anyway, Drew Aller. Drew Aller. Drew Aller at Penn State. 6'5", 235, local guy, right? We always think the local guys are going to come in and fix it for the Browns.
He'll be selected by the Browns this year.
Well, because the local guys get it. They're the only ones that can possibly understand. Everybody knows the Browns stink. It doesn't matter.
Or, hear me out. It's going to be another Big Ben situation. The Browns are going to pass on Drew Aller, he's going to go to Pittsburgh, and he's going to be the Steelers' next franchise quarterback.
Probably. Listen, I don't necessarily see him being a top 10 pick. He's made some throws. Like, he's got some things that you can highlight, but I mean, he's also, and I know this was his younger, he started as a young guy at Penn State. But sometimes there were games, I can think of an Ohio State game in particular where he looked very, very shaky.
It's the Sam Darnold quote. I was seeing ghosts.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's had some bad games in college. Cade Klubnik, which I don't think anyone's looking at him as a top quarterback anymore. Are they 6'2", 210 out of Clemson? Does anyone think Klubnik is going to be the guy? No, a guy.
If he would have put, I mean, there's still time for him to turn around. But if he would have put up a year this year like he did last year, maybe he goes in the first round.
Yeah,
but I don't think he goes anymore.
Yeah, he seems more like a reclamation project now. I mean, he's maybe like you said, bottom of the first round, early second round guy. We'll see.
I don't think he goes that early. I think he falls. I think he could be third or fourth round.
Okay. Well, if Clemson keeps losing to teams like Syracuse and he keeps not playing well, there's going to be a problem there. I've got John Mateer on this list from Oklahoma.
I love John Mateer.
I like him as a player. He's just like that gutsy, like
he's like gritty.
Hard-nosed. He's going to go get you the yards you need. I don't know if you can sustain that in the NFL,
I mean, I don't know though. Like you look at these guys like Josh Allen, right? Like look how much contact he takes.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously
they're built a little bit differently though. Mateer's only 6'1", 224. Like he's not a huge guy like Josh Allen.
He's not 6'5", but like you look at Baker, right? I mean, Baker's not huge, but I mean, he takes these hits and he gets right back up and starts talking trash.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think his accuracy's got to get a little bit better because I watched that Michigan game and there were a few throws that.
Oh, for sure.
There's a few throws I was like,
yeah,
where's he throwing that ball? Like,
yeah, he was high over the middle a couple of times, and that's going to be dangerous.
Interception galore in the NFL.
Yes, yeah, he's going to throw a lot of picks if he keeps throwing like that. But he's got time. He's a young kid. Carson Beck, I have on this list at 6'4", 200 pounds. I never thought I would have had Carson Beck on this list when he was at Georgia.
I actually like Carson Beck.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got Miami running pretty well. Miami looks pretty good.
But
I think
it's like that whole dying adage of like, are pocket passers still viable in today's NFL?
Yeah. I mean, look at Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert doesn't run around a lot.
No, but he's got the ability to make plays with his legs.
Yeah.
Right. But like, I guess there's
Beck's not making too many plays with his legs.
I guess there's no like pure pocket passers anymore.
Yeah.
Like the days of like Brady, Ben, Breeze, Rivers.
Yeah.
Manning, all those guys are gone, right?
Yeah, I think back to like Peyton, like you go back to the guys like even like the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, the guys that just literally stood there flat-footed while their offensive line did work. You know what I mean? Like,
right? That's
never gonna happen again.
No, but like I think nowadays, like I think quarterbacks have to be mobile, right?
Yeah, because defensive linemen are so much bigger and faster and more, and they're shiftier, and there's just different looks, and you can you've got to be.
Speaking of that, did you see the clip of Myles Garrett talking about when he beat that Packers left tackle?
No, I didn't.
He said he was on the bench and he beat the Packers left tackle, and the Packers left tackle goes, "Jordan, run!"
That's hilarious.
Garrett goes, "I beat him," and all I hear is, "Jordan, run!"
That's hilarious. That's funny. I mean, listen, I probably would run myself if I mean, Myles Garrett looks really determined. He looks focused and into it this year, man.
Dude, it was hilarious because just the way you said it, he's like, I beat the guy, and then it fast forwards like the audio clip, and all you hear is in the referee's hot mic, "Jordan, run!" That's
really funny. One more guy I've got on this list, just because I've seen him make some really athletic off the cuff plays, and sometimes there are certain NFL GMs that love guys like this. Sam Levitt.
Oh
no, don't ever listen. I saw him on a top 5 draft list, on a first round list, and I'm like, hold up, like, have you not watched football since 2023? Like, what are you talking? Like, there's absolutely no way he comes anywhere near the top 5 rounds of that draft, right? No, he's got to be done.
Yeah, have you not watched the game since he left Tennessee?
UCLA is awful. But Sam Levitt out of Arizona State.
Isn't he only a sophomore though?
Guy, 6'2", 205, not huge, but he just, like I said, he makes those athletic off the cuff plays. Like sometimes he kind of reminds me of like this cross between like Lamar Jackson and Randall. The way he kind of like moves around and he'll like these little jump throws, little Tim Tebow jump throws from the pocket. He just finds ways to creatively get the ball off, and I think there's something to be said for that in the NFL. I think the right kind of situation, he could be really good. Okay, so Ben, let's since you brought it up, let's do this. You're the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? A couple of these guys are going to be off the board. I'm assuming the Steelers are going to have probably like the 20th pick, right, in the draft.
And that's the problem, right? I think it's one of those things where you got to get lucky and hope somebody falls.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh wait, I forgot the last guy on the list. I forgot. I saved him for last for a reason. Okay. Kurt Signetti coaches him at Indiana. Fernando Mendoza's got 10 touchdowns in his last 2 games. And by the way, every single guy on this list has been either not playing well or beating up like little Division II teams, whatever. Fernando Mendoza threw like 1 million touchdowns. He threw 5 touchdown passes. Not 6, 5 touchdown passes against Illinois. I know Illinois may be overrated, but they were the number 9 team in the nation at the time. Known for their defense, and Mendoza goes out and just absolutely shreds him. He's 6'5". He's 225 pounds. Do you think Mendoza can creep up into the top 5 or 10 of this draft?
I don't know if it's top 5 or top 10.
Okay,
but like Pittsburgh got lucky with Big Ben falling to 13 in 2004, right?
Yeah. Wait, name a team that passed him by again that needed a quarterback.
The Cleveland Browns.
That's right.
Big Ben wanted to go to Cleveland.
I forgot.
For those of you who don't know, Big Ben grew up in Cleveland. He grew up in Ohio, rooted for the Cleveland Browns, wanted to get drafted by the Browns. And when they passed him, he said, I'm going to make sure that they know that they made a mistake.
They know. I think he nailed that on the head. Yeah.
And I'll put it this way, right? Like, if you're the Browns, right, I think because out of all those corrects you listed, Drew Allar's one of the guys that's having one of the better years on the list, right?
Yeah.
Knowing the Browns, they won't take him because it's the Browns.
Yeah.
Right? They'll take like Cade Klubnik or something.
Mm.
But if
maybe they haven't updated their scouting paperwork since like 2023.
But no, like if I'm Pittsburgh, right? Obviously, it's going to be one of the latter guys that you name, like Sam Levitt or Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
I don't think if Drew Allar fell to 20, I would take him.
Okay.
But I don't think he will.
You don't think he will. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think it all depends on. Here's the thing: if Allar can, I don't think Penn State beats Ohio State, right?
No, I don't think so either.
If Drew Allar can play good and not be the reason that Penn State loses to Ohio State, I think there's a chance he goes high.
Okay.
But if he plays in that big, game against Ohio State and loses and gets exposed,
yeah, I think by the time that game comes around, Matt Patricia's going to have something for Drew Allar on that defense.
He will.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know. We'll just have to see how he performs in these big games because it seems like when these big games, when the lights get bright, it seems like he kind of just goes and disappears.
So far, yes. In that situation, he's tended to kind of shrink away a little bit. I don't mean to speak ill of the kid. He's a local guy.
No,
I wish him well.
He's like a great kid.
Yeah, but it just in those situations, he hasn't been at his best. That's all.
And
so now switch it. Let's say you're the Browns and you've got, I don't know, the number 1 pick overall, because I know the Browns beat the Packers on Sunday. It was exciting. It feels like that was a total fluke. I don't know if the Packers overlooked the Browns. I don't think that's the case. I mean, everyone knows how good the Browns defense is. They're number 1 overall defense in the league. Listen, they're winning games like that for a reason. But like when you look at the offense, there's no threat there. There's nothing.
There's no threat. But if you don't forget, they have the Jaguars.
Quinshon Judkins might have changed things a little bit,
right? But don't forget, they have the Jaguars pick, right? So
yes.
Say the Jaguars go like 10-7 and make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Say the Browns go like 8-9 or 9-8, right?
Yeah.
You no longer have a top 5 pick.
No. Now you're going to have to get creative, and you might be. We talked about this last year. You might be able to package one of those first-round picks with a second round and a player to get up a little bit further in the draft. But the Browns don't want that. They want to take 2 players, right? They want to get the most of that value. They don't want to trade those picks away.
So it could be one of those things, right, where the Browns could have to rely on Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders being your franchise quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to add somebody.
I agree, but I don't
because
think
you're going to have Joe Flacco again, like Aaron Rodgers. Joe Flacco is not going to be there long term. He's not going to be in that quarterback room probably even next year.
But I don't think. But if you're the Browns, right, like the only way the Browns get a top 5 pick, right, is if the Jaguars fall off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And say they don't get another one the rest of the year. I mean, but you got the Texans and Titans over here in the same division competing for, the worst team in the division, both 0-3.
What happened to CJ Stroud with the? What happened? Is it is it a time thing in the pocket? I mean, how did he? He's regressed so badly.
Offensive line hasn't been good.
No, they've been bad. They've been really, really bad. I will give you that.
But it's one of those things too, right? Like yeah.
And these receivers have been hurt. I mean, everything's been kind of going bad. Yeah.
But having 2 first-round picks is nice.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, the Browns could have 2 top 5 picks next year. But nobody even thought about what if the Jaguars go like 10-7 or have a winning record. You're like, wait.
2-1, and they've looked pretty good so far.
Yeah.
I've said it. I've like, listen, the most Browns thing ever would be for Jacksonville to win that division, go to the playoffs, and the Browns to go 9-8 and miss the playoffs and not have a top 15 pick.
Yeah.
But have 2 pick, have like 16 and 20. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
What are you gonna do with that?
Like,
I mean,
but like you said, right? Like we've also seen before. I think it's one of those things, right? Where if the Browns think that this quarterback is going to be their quarterback of the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think fans would be okay with the Browns trading both of their first round picks to get up to, like number 1, number 2, number 3 to get that guy.
And now listen, the only thing that I think fans would have a problem with when it comes to that situation is how many times the Browns have swung and missed on quarterback picks. It's not like they have a track record with 40 quarterbacks since 1999. It's not like they have a track record of getting the guy and him being back there under center for 12 or 13 years. I mean, that's clearly that hasn't happened. I mean, it's been the exact polar opposite. They pick a guy and it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's not as bad as, I don't know. I can't even think of the guy's name right now for some reason. The running back that decided to retire and he wanted to be in the FBI. What was his name? He was on the cover of Madden. Why am I blanking on his name?
Peyton Hillis?
Yeah, Peyton Hillis. It's not as bad as that with the quarterbacks, but it's been pretty bad. I mean, it's been guys have had weird freak injuries. They don't, show up and they don't read the playbook. They don't even try. I won't name names there, but his name's Johnny Manziel. Didn't even try in Cleveland. Didn't even try. Colt McCoy, right? That didn't work.
Oh wait, the Browns' best quarterback.
Hugh Jackson, trust me, with whatever, that didn't work. It's been so bad. It's been honestly, Browns fans have a little bit of PTSD, I think, from the quarterback draft situation.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Since you're a Browns fan, would you rather the Browns wait and see who's available at like 15 or 20 and take a quarterback then, or make a move? Because here's the reason I'm asking that, right? Is because if the Browns wait and you take a guy at 15 or 20, right, and he doesn't hit, like obviously Pittsburgh with Kenny Pickett, right? Like, you just trade him after his rookie contract's over, and obviously, you're SOL. Yeah. But if you, like you said, right, like if you trade both those picks to get the number 1 overall pick, and then that guy is not good, and you're paying him all this money to sit on the bench again after 1 year.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like if you're a Browns fan, you don't want them to have a couple of top 5 picks.
Yeah.
Because that, like you said, that could be more of a handcuff for the organization if they miss on those than if they miss on, 17 and 22 or whatever. I don't know. It's a really tough situation to be in because if you just look at it from a straight up, like just from the draft, like it's exciting to have 2 top 5 picks. The prospect of having 2 top 5 picks would be exciting.
If the Steelers had 2 top 5 picks,
Andrew Berry doesn't have the track record of hitting on those picks. So I don't know, Ben. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
If the Steelers had 2 top 5 picks, dude, I'd be jumping up and down because, I mean, you've talked.
They're gonna get it right.
With the way we draft, like, Well, knowing Pittsburgh, right? Like they draft the guy they wanted with 2 of the top 5 picks, right? They would draft the guy that they absolutely wanted, and they would trade the other pick for 2 other first-round picks and draft 2 other guys that they wanted. Somehow
in that deal, even though the Browns wouldn't be involved, they would get screwed in that deal. I don't know how, but something would happen. I just can guarantee that.
But like you said, if the Browns had a good track record of drafting guys that stuck, it would make more sense to trade and get a higher pick. Yeah. But like you said, I don't think fans would be as mad if they missed on 17 and 20 than if they missed on like the number 1 overall pick.
I think the Browns are in this weird situation where it's almost like they take both. They use both those picks for a quarterback in the first round. I don't know. I have no idea.
They got picks.
Could you imagine having 2 rookies and 2 second-year guys in the quarterback room next year going into camp? What a nightmare.
It'd be like the Spider-Man meme. They'd all be sitting there.
Yeah, pointing at each other. I mean, seriously, what a nightmare. You got like Drew Aller and I don't know, Carson Beck in the same quarterback room or something. That would be hilarious.
Dude, the Browns would be the team though. They'd have like the number 1 and number 3 overall picks, and they'd be like, "Okay, we're gonna take quarterback here and a quarterback here." The Browns fans would be like, "The heck are we doing?
Are we gonna have are those guys gonna be on the field at the same time? Is there a yeah? Listen. I would not put anything past the Browns at any point in time when it comes to the draft. And we're gonna get out of here. It's been an hour. I can't believe it's been an hour talking already.
Before we leave, though, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Ask you this. So the last time the Browns had the best defense in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end of the year, it tailed off and they kind of became non-existent.
Yeah.
So does this keep up all year?
I think it depends, Ben, on how well the offense progresses, because right now the offense is bad. If you keep the defense out there, I mean, if they're going to be solely responsible for everything every week, then yeah, I think by week 12 or 13, you're going to see them. They're going to be exhausted. They're going to be physically beat up. They're not going to have it left. I mean, I presume that's what happened before. I know
I would agree.
The year that you're mentioning, I can picture that game. It was at Indianapolis, and they couldn't tackle anybody.
Yeah.
For some reason, like we talked about how bad that defense was on the road that year, even though they were so good to start the season, their last like 6 or 7 weeks, whatever, like all those road games, they were terrible. I mean, they were giving up like 400 yards a game,
and I mean,
passing, rushing, no sacks, everything. It was all bad.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. Defense. Usually in the NFL, right? Like defense travels.
Yeah, usually.
And that year it was not.
No, I don't understand. I don't understand what happened. So no, yeah, I could definitely see that happen.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that happen, but
yeah,
if the offense continues to be very inept the way they've been, yeah, I could see the defense falling off for sure.
And I think it's the same with Pittsburgh too, right? Because if you look at Pittsburgh's defense, it's the oldest defense in the NFL, right?
Oh yeah.
So if our
defense, they've got some guys who should be in a museum on that defense. Yeah,
we do.
I mean, Cam Hayward. I'm sorry, like Cam Hayward's been in the league for 37 years.
But like, you look at it, right? But he's one of the only guys that never seems to really fade, though.
Yeah.
But I think it's because of how well he takes care of his body.
Yeah.
And I think that's really
all the LeBron plan, apparently.
But it's like you said, though, right? Like, this will be the last thing, then we'll get out of here. Mm-hmm. It's like you said, though, like how many times have we seen Myles Garrett take like 5, 6, 7 plays off in a row, and you're like, is he hurt? Like, what's going on?
Is he just tired? Is he? Yeah.
Right.
And listen, when you're getting double and triple teamed by 300-pound guys.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's like TJ Watt too. Like, there's been some plays this year where the Steelers like haven't used TJ Watt. I'm like, is he hurt? Like, what's going on here? And then he'll come out for a third down, and you're like,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, and you look at Myles Garrett; he's got like 840 pounds of guys blocking him to try to get, and he's still getting a Jordan Love and causing problems.
Dude, I'll see if I can find the clip. But my favorite clip was the guy beats Myles Garrett and goes, "Jordan, run!"
That's hilarious. It's like a horror movie. Well, hey, listen, we got to run. We got to run now, right? So I appreciate you guys watching. Sorry, we took a couple week hiatus there. There have been some logistical things going on, and it's been tough to get into the studio and do this. But we appreciate you guys watching. We will be back. I don't know exactly when. Are we going to go Mondays, Tuesdays from now on? What are we doing? We got to find a day. We're going to find a day and a time that works. So as soon as we find that, I can tell you when we'll be back. But we'll keep doing these updates. I'm gonna keep this list of quarterbacks up in front of me every show, and we're gonna just give them little check marks or little X's or something every week. Every time Clemson loses, we'll give Cade Klubnik another X because he's gonna go like 13 for 32 and 170 yards and 3 picks or something. But Dabo, if you don't like winning, then you don't like. That's why you don't like me. Dabo. You think he's fired? But does he get fired at the end of this year?
I think if they have a losing record, yes. Yeah, speaking of firing, did you see Oklahoma State fired Mike Gundy?
Yes, I did. Yeah, he's 40 years old. He's a man. Come at him. Anyway, sorry. I had to get that in there one last time. All right, thanks guys for watching. We will be back as soon as we're back. You'll know because you'll get the notification. And again, we appreciate you guys watching the Sports Show with No Name. For Ben Bales, I'm Chad Bryan. We will see you guys next time right here. Thanks.